Hey everyone, today we have Hitachi hammer drill DH24PC3 and we will check why it was marked as not repairable in other part of service. So I think I will start from the handle. Okay. What can we see here? We can see that our armature commutator not looks really good, but still need to take it out and look. So we'll test the brushes. The brushes looks good. This brush looks good. I will disconnect the brushes. Yeah. Now it's now we know that the brushes look good. I will separate the motor housing from the hammer housing. Use the pliers to push the motor out. You can use screwdriver. What can we see here? We can see that the field looks perfectly. Of course, checking the bearing. Bearing looks good. Now we can check how's about the commutator. I can suspect that something wrong can be happening here. It need to be cleaned and run it. Okay, now I don't want everything here to pop out, but I think that the parts will go out. Okay, now we are taking the button out. Cannot quite remember which position was for the button remover. Just like this. So you are pressing deep down and then the button goes. You can see the pin here, and normally the pin is here on the hammering mode. Then you're pressing it deeply and turning it around until here, and the button just goes out. Okay, now we have the chisel holder. Want to disassemble it with the hope that the cylinder will go out. Most of the time for this model the cylinder is needed to be pressed out. Okay. So here goes the spring ring. Of course, all greasy. The cover full of dust, dirt and so on. We have the ball inside, the plate and the spring, and everything is full of the dried grease with the dirt. So here we have the washer, and now we have the clip, I think. It's a holding ring, so it won't cut wires. Removing the ring, and now we can hammer the tool holder out, and it will be a pain in the ass to get it back in. Okay, so now I will just try to strike it with a hammer. easily. And now we can see that we have the sleeve here, the bearing inside, the oil seal. So the sleeve goes like that, and then you're pressing the tool holder, and okay, you will see that that's nothing funny. And basically, if you press it when you put it on this on the bottom, you will bend the plastic pieces and it will not look good and be good. Okay, so of course we need to wash this one. Spring ring here, it holds the spring and the clutch gear, and of course we have the hammer inside. We have holding ring here for the hammer parts. It's long play with this one, and when I have prepared a lot of this ones, I had a bended screwdriver and just was lifting the spring ring with that bended screwdriver and then getting it with a hook. I'll try to catch the spring ring with a hook. Okay. Of course, no one told that this will be easy. Got a spring ring out. Okay, now we need to check how our striker looks, and we can see here that it looks bad. We have the bump in it, so it needs to be replaced. We have the O-ring inside. It looks a little bit flattened. Okay, we have the flat O-ring, we have the O-ring here, so definitely the striker need to be replaced, the O-rings need to be replaced. Remove the O-rings. And yeah, it's flattened from inside. I don't know if you can see it on camera. This O-ring flattened from outside. So this two goes to the recycle bin. Okay, now we have the clutch. Basically on this model nothing happened here. Just stretching the holding ring and holding everything with my fingers. Holding ring, the washer, the spring, which is supposed to go easily. Okay, I can see the spring ends looks to be stuck. Okay. Normally, if I would remember, the spring goes easily out. Now we have the gear. We have the gear teeth here and here. They must look nice, not damaged or worn out, so I will check that after washing. Okay, we have one of the most important parts here, It's a clutch part of it, and this corners must be 90 degree, not worn out. Now this one is good. This one looks good. Of course, we can see that all the parts here have covered with the old grease. We have the wash bearing and the washer for the wash bearing. And this model has some problem that the wash bearing is wobble a lot. Now this one wobbles, but not a lot. And this most expensive part of the tool, core checking the corners for the clutch, they are good. Taking out the aluminum cylinder, and we want to see how the striker looks. Okay, we have compression. The O-ring looks not flattened, looks good. It's a green one, genuine Hitachi O-ring. Of course, we have the pin striker, so this part looks good. The O-ring. We have the bearing inside here. Maybe I will try to take the bearing out after washing everything, but basically this one looks not bad, just need a maintenance, unless the armature will fail, but I think it will not fail, it will work good. So I need to remove the armature and wash everything. Okay, we'll try to take the armature out. Got the armature. Making sure that the bearing is good. Yeah. The bearing is wobble a little bit, but still good. So we need to wash it and get the O-rings, the grease, and assemble it and test it, of course. And after a while, let's start this repair journey. We need to change these parts for this gray tool, and we will start from the cylinder, the tool holder, the rubber, the striker. Okay. What we have here, we have the nice part, and this part holds the O-ring inside it. Basically, I think, yeah, I will not replace this O-ring. This good. I just need to get it back. Okay, of course it will be good to not damage this O-ring and removing it or replacing. Now we have the new and old strikers. You can see the difference here. The old one, you have the big bump here, the new one don't have it. Definitely replacing it. And the longer end will go here. Of course I need to grease it now. And we'll put some grease here. Now it goes nicely. After greasing it, we need to go with some small parts. Okay, we have the O-ring. And by the spare part view, I need some more parts. Okay, we'll check. I think this O-ring must be here. It looks good here, so probably it must be here. And then this one will close it like that, so we need to put a big fat O-ring here. Of course, greasing everything, mounting the O-ring, greasing everything again. We'll leave it like that. Okay, now we have this housing. I'm greasing inside of it and putting the O-ring on it and greasing the O-ring. Now I can close it, and we have the hammering part closed. Now we need to insert everything in a cylinder. I will grease it from the inside. It will be easier to close it. So we have greased this part, but I will grease it again. Okay. Now I'm just holding everything on my finger and pushing inside a tool holder until the parts will get to the gap for the spring ring. Now I am replacing the spring ring, just new one. Pressing it in with my fingers, and of course now I can press it in with pliers like this or something. But in the end of the day I will be still needed to press it with a screwdriver or with the other cylinder. As you may have seen in my other videos, I have the spare cylinder from the Makita for this type of job. Okay, now we can see that the spring ring is in place. We can clean some grease here and check if the spring ring is in the gaps here. So thank you, Makita cylinder, again. Of course you can push it with a screwdriver, for example. And now I think we will go for the housing. I have the striker. I want to change the O-ring for it. Putting the grease inside, taking the new O-ring, greasing the striker, and put some grease here, grease all the striker, then greasing the aluminum cylinder and inserting the striker. The less part on the table, the less mess will be when we will drop something. Now we can check for this housing, for the switch bearing, the gears. Oh, of course, sorry, almost forgot the gears of this cylinder. Lubricate it here. Okay, so goes the gear, and here goes the spring, and after the spring we have the washer and we have the holding ring. So I need to push the spring down. Okay, push the spring. Have the washer here, mounting the holding ring on the cylinder, and then I will press it with the plates. And we want our holding ring to be in a gap here, so we need to press it good. Okay, sorry, I forgot about the gap here. So we want to be it in a gap here, not so down. Okay. Now when we are sure that the holding ring is in a gap, we can go further, and I'm not exactly sure about that. Just try to hammer it to check if it moves in. No, okay, that's good. Okay, of course I'm greasing the inside of the cylinder. I'm leaving it. Okay, what we have here, we have this wash bearing. I will grease inside of it. Okay, now it's been good. I will put some grease here on the gear and the washer, basically because I want everything to be greased, and in this way I will not lose the washer. Now we need to, so I'm not greased this one. Now we need to get the wash bearing pin through the hole here. Everything must be placed in this housing. Okay, I have joined the washers together. They must be separated. We'll try to put some grease here. Got it. And got a wash bearing to the housing. I think now I will put the O-ring for the sealing. Now as you can see, we have the mechanism for mode changing. I want to grease this one a little bit. Okay, we have this one almost joined together. What we want to do, I want to do the join these gears here. Okay, now they're joined, and now we're getting to the most complicated part. It's the pull hole insertion to the housing. And I will grease it here all the way. I will grease it here too. It will not be better, but not will be and bad too. Grease it, greasing here. Okay. Now what we want to do, we want to put this one to be here, and we want to take our cylinder from the bottom through this one. And basically most of the time we have a biggest problem here of this model assemble, because it's no way to hammer this easily. This one, if I could remember, no, this one, some other socket. Oh, I put that. I think it was my famous Makita. Yeah, I'm putting the Makita cylinder on the washer. Here I'm putting the socket, long socket. And making sure that everything goes in. easily. Yeah, everything goes slowly. Sorry, close this one. You can see the cylinder is almost in place. This folds in. Of course, try to not to be too rude here, because you can damage the parts inside. And okay, now we still have the ring, I don't know how to call it, a little bit up. We need to get it down, so we'll try to hammer it more. I will try to put the socket, no, maybe we'll do that in the old-fashioned way. And finally I got the result I want. I have the gap for the circlip here, so I have the cylinder inside. So now I can put the circlip here. Okay, now it's in. It will not run away. I can hide the hammer. This one now is not needed for me. Okay. After all this fun, I can put the grease inside here. Greasing the aluminum cylinder and the striker. We'll grease the housing to get some grease in it. Have the gear down there, so greasing the gear. Okay, hope that will be good. And now I need to get this part into the two grooves here. And basically, one of the way to do that is to take it out and then try to push everything here in. There you can see we have the part inside. The corners are in the grooves. And preparing the oil seal, all the other parts, making sure that the part goes in the way they need to go. Moving around to get the gears connected. Now pressing it, and now we have the small problem with this one. It's always the same problem with this model. You need to put the armature inside, and you need to spin it to get the gears fitted correctly. And basically I'm doing that when the tool is completely assembled, and I'm just pressing the trigger on, and getting everything assembled. I think I will go with the same this time too. Of course, cannot get everything fitted. Okay, now everything looks not bad here, and I'm putting it aside for a while. To get my dust protection here. Pressing this in. Now, as you can see, I can try to press it in, but I cannot join it. I will get one screw in to hold it. Direction changing button. I have it here. Now I want to connect the brushes. Okay, one brush is in. The second one is in. You can check. I must be able to close the handle. Getting the screws in. Okay, now by the way I do it, I plug it in and I'm slowly turning it on, and you can see the housing pops in itself. Don't do that for long because the mode switch is not inserted and everything can stuck. Okay, now we want to insert the volt switch. Okay, I forgot how to insert it. Okay, got it. Now we need to assemble the bit holder. putting the spring ring. And finally the cap. And we have fully reassembled this Hitachi hammer drill. For now, thank you for watching and bye.